10-point games.
Hello and welcome to our Monsters in the Middle How to Play video series. In these videos we're introducing the games that you can play with the Monsters in the Middle game system. Please note that we're using the prototype version for these videos, and final components may be different from those referenced here. This game is called the Grand Melee. In this game, players work as the heroes to showcase their attack speed. The first player to play all of their cards wins the contest. This game, which is based on the game Speed, is played simultaneously, so everyone can play their cards at the same time. This game is for 2 to 4 players and takes about 5 minutes to play. For this game, each player needs their full deck of 30 basic attack cards and 3 focus cards, 2 treasure cards, and their multi-weapon attack card. The 12 numbered monster cards are also used, and players will use the hero avatars. Before you set up the game, each player draws 1 random basic attack card. The player with the highest number selects their avatar first. To set up the game, each player shuffles their multi-weapon attack card into their basic attack cards to make their attack decks. Shuffle the 12 numbered monsters and deal them equally to all players. Each player places their 2 treasure cards on or near their hero avatar. These are used to activate the hero abilities in the game. Then, each player draws the top 5 cards of their attack decks into their hands without revealing them to their opponents. When everyone is ready, have a short countdown to begin the game. When the game starts, players reveal the first monster from the top of their monster deck at the same time. Players then rush to play their cards on any active monster. You may only play a card that is 1 number higher or lower than the number showing on a monster or on its monster stack. The multi-weapon attack card can be played on and followed by any number. Players can draw to have 5 cards in their hand at any time, but they cannot draw to have more than 5 cards in their hand. Anytime all players cannot play a card, the active monsters are put aside and every player simultaneously reveals their next monster card. Since players are racing to play their cards the fastest, there are a few restrictions for cards. First, players can only use one hand to play the cards. They cannot play cards with both hands at the same time. Second, they can only play cards one at a time. They cannot stack sequential numbers and play them together. Third, they cannot block any active monster stack. And finally, the game pauses when a player activates their hero ability. Players use the A2 hero abilities in this game. Player abilities are triggered by calling for a pause in play and placing 1 treasure card on an active monster stack. Opponents can pause their motions while the ability is active, leaving their hands over the table, but the hero ability may change the top cards of a monster stack, so they may need to modify their intended play. After the player ability is resolved, count down to resume the game. If the treasure card is still the top card of a monster stack, any player can play any card on top of it in the same way as it were a multi-weapon card. The game ends in victory when any player has played all 31 cards from their attack deck, or as a stalemate when no player can play a card and all monster decks are depleted. If the game ends in victory, the player that played all their cards first is the winner. If the game ends in a stalemate, the player with the fewest cards remaining is the winner. If you want to use the optional Take That mechanisms, each player takes a cross power reference card X2 during game setup. Cross powers take effect immediately after a new monster is revealed and before any player can play a card. A player may play a treasure card on any of their new monsters to avoid all current cross power effects and to prevent the cross power from that specific monster from impacting any player. So this is the Grand Melee game for the Monsters in the Middle card system, and thanks for watching.